Hello everyone, I should be live now. So if someone is watching, please let me know in the comments if this is working or not. I'm not very good at live streams, so I need your help. All right. Cool, so it looks like it's working somehow. Let's see what we have in here. So I guess we're gonna wait a little bit while everyone joins, meaning a couple people, I guess. Yep, and I'm watching myself right now. It's working. Cool. So yeah, welcome everyone. So my idea for this live stream is to basically dive deep into what's new in Expo SDK 52. We at Expo recently released the biggest SDK upgrade, and it comes with many features. Some of them very cool features, and some of them, they are fixes and improvements. But overall, the idea of this live stream is to cover some of them, and I guess the ones that are more cool to me. But yes. Anyways, let's go ahead and start. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to see the chat. Okay, I can see the chat. Hi Prashant. Hi Cesar. Welcome. Nice. So with you guys, I think we're ready to start. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Actually, I have it in here. 1 sec. Hi Dark Matter. Welcome to the stream. All right. So here's my screen. All right. So as I mentioned before, this is a changelog of Expo, and if you didn't know, you can just go to Expo, and if you scroll all the way down, you'll find this changelog, and you can come here. By the way, I forgot to mention that I'm under the weather, so you might heard my voice a little bit like I'm sick, and the reason is that I'm sick. But life goes on, and I have to create more content for you guys, so I'm here even though I'm sick. So you might have to excuse me, in a couple moments because I have to, clean my nose and things like that. But anyway, so this is the SDK 52 released. This huge blog was written by Brent, which is head of engineering at Expo. I actually work with him. He's a really nice guy, and it's a friend of mine. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into what's new in Expo SDK 52. So my idea was to basically just go over this huge document and see what things interest us, and what things interests you guys. Hello, Aparna. We need videos on Expo native modules. Yeah, we actually have some videos on that. If you go to the documentation of Expo and type create a native module or something like that, we have a tutorial. And this tutorial, well, we have an entire section, as you can see here on the left. And we have how to create a native module, which comes with one video that I created myself, how to create a native view, and we have a video for this one as well. It's not here. Oh, we also have a video for how to wrap third-party libraries using native modules. So if you want to check those out, if you haven't already, those are really nice videos. And if you are getting started with Expo modules, those are great. Cool. All right, so yeah, let's start scrolling down. first of all, the headline of the Expo SDK 52 is the new architecture. And the new architecture of React Native, basically, you don't really need to understand how it works, especially if you're new to React Native or Expo. But basically, it makes your application and the entire React Native architecture more performant and allows to be, integrate new features that are faster and scale the entire SDK or the entire framework, in an easy manner. It also allows for concurrency features, which means now we can use like suspense from React and things like that. So yeah, by the way, the new architecture comes enabled by default when you create a new Expo project. And let's go ahead and start creating a new project. I'll bring my terminal and make it bigger so that everyone can see. Yeah. So I have this folder, apps, which I use to create a bunch of apps. And let's go ahead and create one. Recently, I like to use Bun for my package manager. So I'll say Bun, create Expo app, and then we can provide the name. So I'll say live stream SDK 52 and hit enter. Now you see that I like to use Bun because it's very fast and it's done, as you can see there. So let's sit into the live stream SDK 52 and open this using cursor. So I'll say cursor dot, and this will open it in here. And by the way, let me know if you can see here. I think this is a bit smaller, so I'll just do a couple of zooms in here. And yeah, this should be fine, I think. Let me just double check that everything looks fine. Yeah, move this here and I'll make this all the way here so that we can see what I have in here on the left. Okay, so let me quickly see the chats. We have Prashant and Rith VK. I use UseDOM is so good. I love it. Yeah, UseDOM, it's great. It allows you to use basically pieces of a React website into your React Native app, and it's great. I actually recently created a video implementing a rich text editor, and you can check it out on YouTube, by the way, in the Expo channel. But yeah, so I have this new app, and if we go to the package JSON, you can see that we are using Expo SDK 52. So I didn't have to do anything. It's already enabled by default on new applications, including the new architecture, and you can double check that by going to the app JSON, and you'll find this new architecture enable flag equal to true. Something important to notice here is that when you are upgrading an existing application, so apart from upgrading your dependencies, you also have to come to the app.json and set this flag to true. Otherwise, you won't be using the new architecture. And if you need to disable it as well, you can just change this to be false. But I'll leave that as true. Cool. Awesome. So I'm trying to see if I can see the chats in here. So Rith says, I learned React, want to get into React Native. I'm confused which one to choose, React Native CLI or Expo CLI. Can you please make a video? Cool. Yeah. So traditionally, React Native CLI, Community CLI, actually, they changed the name. It was like a template that you could use, that it was embedded in the React Native repo, by the way. So if you search for React Native Community CLI, this is basically what you would be using if you decide to use this CLI. And by the way, this is not recommended. The CLI has been extracted from the core React Native. As I mentioned before, it was in the core React Native repo, but it was abstracted because basically Meta, the creators of React Native, they are encouraging everyone that is new to Expo or everyone that is new to React Native to use a framework. And a framework would be Expo. So when you create a new React Native project using the CLI, you'll actually get a warning because it's recommended to use a framework like Expo. Expo, it's a framework that you can use with React Native. Similar to, so you are saying that you're coming from web, so it's similar to React and Next.js, right? React, it's a library, and Next.js, it's a framework that you can use on top of React. And Next.js provides many features on top of React. This is the same idea. Now, in this case, when you're using Expo, you get all the benefits from using React Native, and basically anything that you can do in the CLI, you can do it as well on Expo. But on top of that, Expo provides many features like routing, like Expo Router to add navigation to your application. Also provides a great integration with Expo Application Services, which allows you to build your application, create a pipeline, and basically create a production-ready application. So if you are learning as well, getting started with Expo, it's very easy, and you'll have an easier time than if you decide to use the CLI. So I would say just use Expo. And yeah, you should be good. Cool. Cool. So guys, I'm super excited for, oh, by the way, let me know if you can see these letters in here. I can make it bigger if you can't. But I'm super excited about a new addition to the SDK. And this addition is Expo Mesh Gradient. And I'll actually bring it here. So Expo Mesh Gradient, it's a feature that it's only available for iOS, but this is actually a view that uses Swift UI. So traditionally, Expo and React Native uses UIKit, which is a framework to create applications, native applications for iOS, right? And recently at Expo, we've been working, the SDK team have been working on adding support for Swift UI. And this is like the first module that we are supporting that uses Swift UI. And I'm super excited about this because this is one of the latest additions on iOS 18 by Apple, and it allows you to have very cool gradients. So let's go ahead and test this out. Of course, this is going to work only for iOS, so keep that in mind. You might want to use, for example, a linear gradient for Android. Linear gradient. Yeah, we also have Expo linear gradient, so you can use it for Android, but I think this is a good addition for iOS. And if you want to learn more, by the way, you can simply say mesh gradient Apple and hit enter, and you will be taken to the documentation of Apple where actually you can learn more about this. But basically, it's a two-dimensional gradient defined by a 2D grid of position colors. And this is going to work on iPad, Mac, and iOS 18 and above. iOS 18 and above. So the overview of this super cool view is that, it's very new and it's only available on iOS 18 and above, but it's a good idea to start adopting it, I would say. And the way it works is basically you define a grid and then you pass the points that you want to apply the following colors. And we can use that with Expo. So I'll go ahead and install this dependency in my application. Let me bring cursor. Let's add it as the first stop in here. I can say npx expo install expo mesh gradient, and this is going to add it in here. So we need to use a development build for mesh gradient because it uses native code. So I'll say npx expo prebuild, and I'll prebuild my application only for iOS for now. So let's hit enter. And this is going to install the CocoaPods and get the application ready. So as you can see on the left, now I have this iOS folder. And it's a good idea. I always recommend to add the iOS folder and Android folder to the git ignore so that we don't track this on Git, especially because these folders are auto-generated every time that we run this command npx expo prebuild. And if you're using Expo application services, when you build your application in the cloud, basically we are running this command under the hood and we are generating the iOS folder. So it's not needed. Bright grades. Many complaints about breaking off their app when they upgrade from SDK 52 to SDK, SDK 51 to SDK 52. Yeah, actually, I'm aware of that, but also I've heard that many developers have transitioned from SDK 51 to SDK 52 very smoothly, and actually I had that experience. But yeah, I guess it depends on what packages you are using, because you have to be aware that, I mean, all the packages that you're using have to be compatible with SDK 52 before upgrading, or compatible with the new architecture. And actually, a good tip that I want to share with you guys is that if I go to the Arc, we have this, what's the name? Yeah, React Native directory. We have this page that the Expo team actually helped to create and support, and it keeps adding more packages. So this is basically that the documentation, and I think many developers, when they are upgrading to the new architecture or to the SDK 52, they don't really check that their dependencies that they are using are compatible with the new architecture. And you can check that just by coming to this React Native directory. And yeah, so in this case, for example, let's say that I'm using, I don't know, we can just see the first one, right? Like React Native bottom tabs. We don't have like support for new architecture. We don't even know if it's going to work. So yeah, in this case, if I was using this library and I upgrade to the new architecture or SDK 52, of course, this is going to break my application. And you'll find as well, for example, Expo splash screen. It's compatible with the new architecture. It's compatible with Android, even Expo Go and iOS. Okay, so just to keep that in mind. Hello. I don't know if I can pronounce your name. Sauher. Any hints about how can make call log, call tracker, and rich editor in Expo or React Native? Rich text editor? I'm not sure, but if that's your question, I actually created a video. Let's go to YouTube, Expo developers. Yeah, if you go to the Expo channel, you'll find a bunch of videos that I've created. But the recent one, it's how to implement a rich text editor. So if you want to check it out, I'll copy the link and I'll put it in the chat for you. Expo image picker is not working well after upgrade. Expo image picker. Let's see. Expo image picker. So it's compatible with the new architecture. I guess my advice would be to go to the Expo documentation and just search Expo image picker. Yep, in here. And just make sure that you're using the latest documentation. So in this case, SDK 52. And actually, some of these modules like camera and I think image picker, they changed a little bit the API. So it's a good idea to come here and double check that everything is configured as it should be and things like that. Okay. And also make sure that the methods that you're using are compatible with the latest version that you're using. And yeah, So one thing that comes to mind, for example, the splash screen. Splash screen, it's pretty new. Let's see. Splash screen. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So I'm using the SDK 52 latest documentation, and this is pretty new. Actually, this changed a lot from how it was used in SDK 51. Now you don't need to add a splash configuration or a splash image in your app.json like you had to do it before. Now in this case, we can just simply set these properties, and the configuration now it looks like this. It's through a plugin, and you can set many things, like for example a dark image. And a cool thing about this is that you can now add animations. But this is one thing that changed a lot from SDK 51 to SDK 52, and this, I'm pretty sure that it would break, or it would make your application to work not good if you don't upgrade, right? So yeah, the idea is that you have to come and go basically dependency by dependency and make sure that everything is working. And also keep in mind that SDK 51 to SDK 52, it's an entire SDK release, and it comes with so many new features that of course is going to contain breaking changes. So yeah, just to keep that in mind. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, I think there are 23 people watching this stream, which is really cool. Let's continue with the Expo Mesh gradient stuff that we're doing here. Let's go to, okay, so the app is ready. So I'll just say Bon iOS to build this application on my iOS simulator that I have here. And let's go to the app, and then we can start modifying the index. Cool. So I'll just go ahead and create a new screen, I guess. New tab, and call this one mesh gradient.tsx. Maybe I can add a dash in here. Hit enter. And export default this screen. Let's go to the docs. Mesh gradient, it's actually a really cool, really cool module that allows you to have some very cool gradients that you can use, like background color, like a background in a screen, or like an onboarding screen. So I just go ahead and paste this in here, and import this from Expo Mesh Gradient. Let's hit save. Now I'll add this to my tabs. So in my tabs, I have tabs, explore, and then we can add the mesh gradient with this nice title. Or actually I can hide the title. Cool. I think this would look great because basically this is like just a background that I want to show. Awesome. Yeah, so welcome everyone. We are, for those who just joined, we are implementing a mesh gradient, which is one of the latest features or latest modules that were added to the SDK 52. And my app is ready, so I'll open my application. Awesome. There we have it. Yeah, so I need to move this a little bit. I'll put it in here. Let's go to the mesh gradient, and this is how it looks. This is so cool, right? And let's go and start tweaking this. And of course I can use AI for this. Add some cool colors in here. And this is going to start adding some colors. And if I hit save, this is how it looks. So this is amazing, right? And you can do crazy things. For example, if I start tweaking like the columns, let's say 6 and 6, you can see that we get like these crazy effects that, it could look good if you make it look good and unique for your application. And even you can use this as a background, right? And if you want to start adding more stuff in here, let's just wrap this in a component. And what I'll do is maybe, I think I can say style sheets from React Native dot absolute fill. and then this will be like a background. And from here, I can add more stuff, right? So let me minimize this. Not sure if I have to add it before or after this component, but I can have like a theme text in here that says mesh gradient. Okay, let me put it after. Yeah, so I can see it there. And it's actually changing every time that I add this. Let's add a type, title, hit save, and I'll go ahead and center everything. So yeah, let's create a view and wrap everything inside this view. And for the container, I'll just create an inline style in here. And I need to import this. So let's hit save and let's go back to mesh gradient. All right, so you see what's happening. We are basically covering this view. I wonder what happens if I wrap this view. Oh, that kind of looks good, huh? Awesome. So yeah, it's changing every time. Let's go back to the 3 and 3. This is how it looks. This is more stable. And by the way, you can learn more about this mesh gradient. I would say it's actually pretty hard to understand how it works. Let me go to the documentation. Yeah. So the Expo documentation at the moment is just very high level. And actually, you should know how to use this before coming in and using it. But if you go to the Apple developer documentation, you can learn more about this. Basically, what we are doing here is defining a grid, right? So I can have as many colors as I want. So in this case, the grid is 3 by 3, and we are defining the 3 colors at the top, which are these 3 colors, and then the next 3 and the next 3. But on top of that, we are providing the position for each, not the position, but where the gradient is going to start. So as you can see here, the first one is starting on the axis 0, x0, and y0. Then we move that all the way to 0.5 and then 0 on x and y0. So y is 0 all the time, which means we are going to start the gradient always at the top of the screen. And you can tweak these points, right? This should actually look something like this because we have a grid of 3 by 3, and we could do something like that for this, but we have these comments, so never mind. So this is X and this is Y. And if I want to start my gradient, let's say that instead of starting at the 0 for the color in the middle here, let's start this on 0.5. And now we have this crazy effect, right? So this is really cool and actually kind of like that. And if you want to push the right side to the middle, so let me just bring this back to how it was. Instead of finishing on 1.0, we can finish this on 0.5 as well. And now we have like this really crazy shape. But if I want some spacing, I can change this to be 4. Oh, this is actually passing, so I'll say 6. Yeah, I need to have this somehow like this, otherwise I cannot understand what's happening. So I'm going all the way to 6 and I'm starting at 4, let's say. And now we have more space, right? And yeah, you can start creating crazy stuff like this one, and you can go over. So for example, if I want to cross these two, I can say that this is going to be 0.6 and then this will be 0.4. And now we are crossing these two, right? It's pretty crazy. I'm super excited about this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you as excited as I am about this? Yeah, very cool, Nando. Welcome to the stream. Wow, this is good. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I'm just scratching the surface of what you can do. Actually, you could let the user animate these values. And I don't know, I had this idea of an app that allows you to create very cool gradients and then you save the image locally and the user can use it, right? So that would be a pretty cool app. And by the way, there is a pretty good example that I have here that I wanted to show you guys, that I took from, um, I'll show you on Blue Sky. By the way, if you are using Blue Sky, you should follow me. Yeah, so I wanted to show you this post from Tomasz Zapeta. He works at Expo. He's actually the creator, or the one who created this Expo module, and he created this very cool example where he's letting you basically, you know, drag and drop the position, and you can change the gradient look. And if you let the user choose these colors and the position of where you are, starting the new color and gradient, and then save the image, you could have very cool background images, and they would be created by users. And then you could let users upload these images and have like a social network of super cool mesh gradients, which is really nice. So let me know in the comments if you want me to integrate this thing for this example. I think that would be cool. But if that's something that interests you, we can implement it fairly quickly, because I would be copying his example. And another cool thing is that if we go to the package JSON, this template already comes with reanimated and gesture handler, which are libraries and packages that allow you to animate stuff and add gestures to your application. So if you want, we can do that. But yeah, super excited about mesh gradient. I think the possibilities are endless. Let's see what ChatGPT can do with this. Create a, I don't know, appealing look. Crazy. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. It's safe. Oh, so it's taking like the entire color sheet and moving it. I think it looks good. Now let's change the colors. I'm tired of those colors. Change colors. Accept and save. All right. Let's change this to be dark mode. I'm curious about this. Let's see. No, it's not looking good. But if I switch to dark mode, it actually kind of looks good, huh? Let's try light mode. Change light mode. Very cool. Well, this is good. Yeah. Yeah, light mode looks great. So we could actually have both, right? Let's do that. Const color scheme. Actually, I can say is dark, using the color scheme from React Native. And then I can say const dark colors. And I'll add that in a moment. Const light colors, and light colors are going to be these ones. So let's paste them in here. And yeah, I did something wrong. There we go. Cool. And then based on the theme, I can change the colors. Yeah, but I need to add some dark colors. So let's see. All right, and if I switch, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Awesome. So you could have something like this. And yeah, this is a pretty cool pattern. Yeah, super excited about this. Anyways, I think we should move on to the next topic. Let's go back to the Yeah, by the way, follow Tomash. He's awesome and he's always uploading good stuff. And you should follow me as well at codewithbeto.dev, by the way. Yeah, let's go back to the changelog doc. So the first thing, it's the new architecture. Next thing, it's going to be some of the new modules. As I was mentioning before, these modules are the ones that are changing many things, but are also improving. Like for example, Expo Video. This is actually a new module that is, the purpose of this one is to replace Expo AV, which was a module to handle audio and video previously, but now we are separating these two and we are starting with Expo Video, which contains many new great things and features, like for example creating video thumbnails and also picture in picture, which means you can close your application and still watch the video. I use this feature all the time on YouTube, and it's a native feature that we can use with Expo Video. And if you want, we can actually dive into Expo Video. We also have the beta release for Expo Audio. So as I mentioned before, basically we're creating two modules instead of having Expo AV. Now we have video and audio separate. And as well, very similar, the Expo file system, it's improving a lot. Basically, we rebuilt it, and this contains a new API, and it's designed to be more easy to use for developers. And yeah, so these are cool stuff. Another one is Expo Camera. Expo Camera basically changed many things. I think someone in the comments mentioned image picker. Let's see if we have like a super rewrite of that. We have now Expo Image Manipulator, which now offers new object-oriented contextual API, which is great, I think. Many changes to Expo SQLite. Expo SQLite, by the way, it's one of my favorite modules, and it's going to keep on improving on SDK 53. I'm super excited for what's coming for Expo SQLite, especially with the trend of local first applications. So yeah, I would say if you haven't tried Expo SQLite to create a local first application, it's great. And there are many actually packages that are kind of wrapping Expo SQLite to provide like like a high level API that allows you to upgrade state and store the state locally. Some of them are Live Store, for example, or Tiny Vase. Let me show you Tiny Vase. Yep, let's go to the website. Looks very cool. Yeah, so Tiny Vase, it's a data store for local first applications, and it's compatible with Expo. And if I scroll down, we'll find Expo in here. And this is using SQLite under the hood and allows you to save stuff and keep it through sessions. Cool. And another one is Live Store. Yeah, so you can check the docs in here and learn how to use it with Expo. I create a video as well on Live Store. Live Store is actually not public yet, but you can request access through the Discord and you can learn more in their docs. Yeah, anyways, I just wanted to mention that SQLite is improving a lot. Also, DevTools and notifications are improving many things. By the way, something to keep in mind, a couple things to keep in mind is that Expo notifications, it's going to be deprecated for Expo Go in Expo SDK 53. And so another thing to keep in mind. Cool, yeah. Support for iOS tinted icons. This is a cool one. And this is another iOS 18 feature that when they introduced the controversial, basically iOS tinted icons. And I'm not sure if we can do it in here. Yeah, we can press edit. And now we can customize, let's see, I can edit pages. Yeah, I don't think you can do it in here. Let me see my iPhone. Basically now you can customize your icons. Oh yeah, you can do it in here, I think. Yeah. So this thing it was pretty controversial when Apple announced it, and the idea is that you can even tint your icons and change the color. You can change the size as well. And now we have support for light and dark icons. So you can set your dark icon just by, yeah, let's go to the docs. Just by going to the properties. This is only for iOS, by the way. But I think it would be cool if we tried to do this right now. But by the way, I don't have an icon. Yeah, no, never mind. But the way you do that is just by going to the app.json and inside iOS, I can say icon and then dark and then light. Let's see. Yeah, dark light tinted. The tinted icon, it will appear for the app when the user's system appearance is tinted. So in this case, let's see, customize tinted. So if you select tinted, the icon that you're specifying here will appear in this case. But yeah, it's pretty cool that you can now kind of have some control over your brand, over your icon through this simple API. So you don't need to do anything, just come here and specify an image. So usually inside assets, we have these images and we have this icon. So yeah, you can create one for your application that is going to work on light and dark, and just add the pad in here. That is cool. So I guess I could try copying an icon. Yeah, like give me 1 second. I'll copy an icon from an app that I have in here. Linear ducks linear. Hmm. 1 sec. Yep. Cool. All right, so I'll just drag and drop this. Oh yeah, I already have an icon. It's asking me to replace. So let's rename this one to be light and hit save. And I have a typo. And then I can drag my new icon. And this will be my dark. Yeah, so this is the icon. Now let's specify this in here. So they are inside assets. Assets, images, icon dark, .png. Yep. This should do it, right? Let's hit save. Now, when we change this kind of stuff in the app JSON, we need to rebuild this. Oh, and I have a warning. File not found. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's use the I'll use the lights. All right, let's pre-build this again for iOS only. And then I can say bond iOS. Let's see if this works. Where's my app? I'll just go ahead and delete it to make sure that it's going to work. Cool. Yeah, let me see what's new. Nothing in the chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Okay, so the app is built. Okay, and as you can see, we are using the dark icon. But if I switch to light, now we have the other icon. So it's pretty cool. So you could do something very, very crazy or very cool with your lights. And if I go to tinted, it's going to go to the light by default. But you can specify as well which icon you want to use for the tinted in here. Yep, that's another pretty cool feature, and allows many customizations. Yep, I have the icon in here, the same one. So this is how it looks. I'll just go to the traditional view, which is light. Let me know in the comments what you think of this feature. Do you like it or no? All right, yeah, that's another cool thing that we can do. I'll just go ahead and close that. Where is this? Yep. Image manipulator. Expo Fetch. Yeah, Expo Fetch. I think we should spend some time using Expo Fetch because this is huge, especially now with all the AI stuff changing and not, everyone integrating AI and ChatGPT into their applications, into their websites. We needed support for streaming responses. And React Native doesn't really have support for streaming. Basically, React Native has an implementation of the fetch function that is pretty old. So we at Expo had to rewrite this fetch, this fetch function to support streaming. And actually, the guy who did it was Kudo, another guy that you should follow. Kudo. He's the one who wrote this fetch function. He's a really cool guy, and he's on Blue Sky as Kudo Chin, in case you want to learn more about him and from him. Yeah, this is really cool. And I have actually an application that I think I can show you that uses Expo Fetch, but it's been a while since I opened it. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's not going to work, guys, because I don't have it here. I guess I can. Yeah, I used to have it in here. I switched computers recently, so that's why. But basically, is a chatbot. I could show you how to do it. Should we implement a chatbot or not? What do you think? And by the way, I was using Vercel AI, the SDK for that. So if you haven't already, Vercel, try this out. Vercel created a SDK to make it very easy to integrate any large language model in your backend and front end. But this is optimized for web, of course, and Next.js. But we can use actually AI in our Expo application because we also have support for API routes. And the way you create an API route, it's very easy. You can simply create an API folder, and inside this you can create like a hello API. Now to tell Expo router that this is going to be an API, you can add the plus API. This is a convention, and then TS. And then you can handle request like you would do it on Next.js if you have experience with Next.js. So yeah, one thing that we need to do is that when we are using API routes, the web output needs to be set to server, and we can do that in the app.json. We have this web section, and the output by default is static. So let's go ahead and change this to be server. And remember, every time that we change something from the app.json, we need to restart the server. So I'll say npx expo start and passing the C flag or the clear flag. It's not clear. Maybe I'm missing a dash. Yep. Okay, and now the warning is gone, and we have this API, and I can say export async function get, for example. Now in this case, ChatGPT or Cursor is trying to return a next response, but we can simply use the response from the browser and also the request. So this is coming from the browser, and you can learn more in the MDX documentation. Sorry, MDN reference. And yeah, this is my API, which means I can just go to my mesh gradient view. Let me open the app, by the way. Here it is. Yep, let me move this out of the way. Let's go to the mesh gradient, and I can add a button. Let's add a button here from React Native. Hit save, and I don't know. Oops, reload the app. Let's see if I can see my button. Yeah, it is there. So I can just hit my API. Let's see if I can do this. So these are my colors. By the way, I can abstract these colors out of the component. They don't need to be here. So let's move them out, or maybe at the bottom. I think that should be fine, right? And hit save. Everything is working fine. Let's create a const fetch hello. Yeah, we can simply hit our API dot hello, very similar to what we had in, what we could do in Next.js. And then we're putting the data in the console. Now in here, we need to call this function. And yeah, let's see what happens. I think this won't work, but let's see. Yep, we have a warning. And I'm opening the DevTools now. That's another thing with the latest version. You need to have this opened in order to see the logs, which is sometimes annoying. Let's see. Reloading and pressing hello. Yeah, and nothing is happening. Let's go to cursor. Yeah. So the issue here, I think, is that we also need to specify down here. One sec. I'm missing something. Let's go to the docs. That's a good idea. AP routes. Yeah, so this is like basically how to create an API route. This is what we're doing right now, returning a message. And yeah, we can make a request hitting the local host. So let's try to do this. I'll do this in Cursor. Let's open a new terminal and do this curl. Interesting. So yeah, we are getting a bunch of stuff in here. Let's go back. Let me see the response, by the way. I didn't pay too much attention to the hello API. Yeah, it's returning a message. Yeah, so I think it's working. If I search for message, content, the method property, Expo modules require native manager is not available on web. Native dependencies. Okay. Yeah, so the issue is that this mesh gradient screen is using native code, right? And this is not compatible with web. So I think I can comment this for now. And let's try to curl again. Yeah, it won't work because I have to restart. Let's see. Okay. And let's open. Oh yeah, I'm using Expo Go. Cancel that. We can start the development server by passing the div flag like that. And then reload the app. Cool. So let's see. Can I do the curl? Ooh. Let's see the message again. Now there is no message. This is different, I guess. Yep. It's returning an HTML. Let's see what happens if I try to access this in the browser. Screen does not exist. Wait, it has to be API, right? Yeah, it's working. I guess the curl is wrong. Yeah, I forgot the API here. Oh my goodness. So it basically it was working. It was returning the entire web page, right? The thing that we are seeing here, it's in the response. But it's working. You can see here the hello world, and I can make it pretty. And just like that, we have a full stack application, which is crazy, right? And by the way, I don't want to spoil anything, but we are working on making, you know, we're working on helping you guys and making deploying these API routes very easy. And you learn more very soon. I'm super excited for that feature, by the way. But yeah, don't tell anyone. Hello, history tracks. Could you please make a complete projects tutorial or playlist for beginners to understand both front and backend, especially Firebase? Is it possible? Actually, I have a course that you should check out because I teach all of that. Let me show you. If you go to codewithbeto.dev, we have these courses. We have a React Native course and React with TypeScript course, and even Git and GitHub, which I think it's very important for beginners to learn. But yeah, actually, I have a pretty good deal right now. You can subscribe to all of these courses, so you don't need to buy them. You can subscribe and get access to everything. But I wanted to show you the intro to React with TypeScript, which I think it's fundamental for React Native development. And we have an advanced project that uses Firebase. So at the end, we add Firebase authentication and everything. Of course, this is for web, but I also have this React Native course, and we have a section that it's dedicated to Firebase. So like, what is Firebase, how to connect, how to do email authentication, Google authentication, and yeah, many things. I also have a section for AWS Amplify, And the final project actually uses AWS Amplify. But yeah, actually I'm planning on, not planning, I'm already working on revamping this course because it's a bit old right now. Things are moving very fast in the React Native world. So I'm planning on updating some of these lessons, but I think that most of them still work fine and they are very important for learning the basics. So yeah, make sure to check that out. And yeah, sorry for that ad, guys. Saujan Tampa. Tapa. Hi Beton, when is your React Native version 2 release date? Oh, for the course? Yeah, I don't have a date. I don't have a date right now. I have a bunch of things that I have to do. But my plan is to incrementally update it. So, for example, we don't have an Expo router section, and I think it's very important to cover Expo router since it's the default that comes when you create a new Expo app. And I'm planning on starting that section. And so the idea for the version 2 of the React Native course is that you will be able to go to each section and learn what you need to learn to implement it in your application. It's not like we're going to build one single project and do everything, but instead it's going to be like each section is going to teach you the basics that you need and the fundamentals so that you can implement it. So my plan is to start with Expo Router and also touching a little bit on API routes. And yeah, so I'll try to do that next weekend. This weekend it's pretty busy for me right now, but next weekend I think I should be good to start working on that. So yeah, pretty soon. Yeah, so we have an API route. Let's go back to here. Yeah, let's go and see if I press hello. Yeah, so this is not working because yeah, of course, this will work on web. And if I go to the website and if I open this application on web, if I go to the linear gradient and press on hello, I need to open the console. Let's see the console in here. Yep, we have the response. Let's do that again. So it's working for web. The reason why this is working for web and not for the mobile app, it's because you need to specify an origin. So let's copy this. So this won't be the default or native. Does not provide an origin URL. So you can configure this URL in the app config. It can be mock URL in development, for example, this one. Okay, so let's go back. In the plugin section, we have Expo Router. And let's replace this with an array that contains Expo Router. And then we have this origin. I've changed this to be code with Beto. And hit save. Okay, and now because I changed something in there, I'm not sure if I need to rebuild everything, but I'll just go ahead and start and see if this works. I passed the clear flag, so let's see if this works. Yeah, it's not working. I think we need to pre-build. So in this case, what I'd like to do just to make sure that everything is working, I'll just go ahead and delete the app. And then remove the iOS folder. Remove rf iOS. Okay, and then pre-build again. So I have a shortcut for that, expo pre-build iOS. And this is going to pre-build or basically generate the iOS folder again. And finally, once this is done, I can say expo run iOS. These are aliases, by the way. If you are not familiar with aliases, Basically, you can configure your bash profile with aliases, and I use aliases for everything like Git, uh, GitHub CLI, and Expo, since these commands are very large. Okay, let's see what's happening in the chat. History tracks. Thanks, Beto. I will check the link. Thank you very much for checking that. Cool. Yeah, so this is rebuilding everything. This time we should have this origin configured for iOS, and yeah, this is already working for web. So what I was saying is that you can just go ahead and start using Node packages for that work on Node in your Expo app, and the API routes will work, which means we can install this npm AI, dependency. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's go and press hello. And this time is working because now we have an origin. Pretty cool. So I have a full stack application. That is really cool. Now, one thing that is actually bothering me is that I really want to have my mesh gradient in here. But if I add this won't work on web. So I think I can just validate that this will show on web only. Not sure. Let's just leave it like that for now. But anyways, you already know, guys, that this won't work on web. Okay, cool. So yeah, so let's try to create like a chatbot, but let me change this to be more, let's see, change this to be more casual, minimal, not super extravagant. How do you write extravagant? Not sure if that's correct. Yeah, let's accept whatever. Cool. Okay. Uh-huh. So this is pushing everything to the center. That's why. Let's see. What is going on with the absolute field? What's going on? Why is not taking the entire space on the screen? What if I delete this theme view? Yeah, still is not working. If I reload. Yeah, it's not starting at 0. Should start at 0. Should end at 0. Sorry, at 1. Wait. It's a grid of 2. So, this looks something like this. So this should end in 1. What am I doing? Oh yeah, this should be 1. Hit save, and fix everything. This should start 0. There we go. Cool. Delete. All right. This is working. Maybe we could, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, so let's install dependencies needed for adding AI stuff. Beto, have you made any project like which have Google Maps? Yeah, I have a video on that in the channel. You can search for Google Maps. Okay, let's quickly see if we can implement AI like a chatbot. So I'm gonna need to have AI. Let's install these dependencies. I'll stop the server, close this, clear, and say bar install AI. This is going to be for the backend stuff. I have an example project in here that I cannot show you because it's private. So I'm gonna install these dependencies for AI stuff. Yeah, I think this is all we need actually. Let me see. 1 sec. API chat. Yep. So the AI SDK is from OpenAI, and by the way, I can show you. For Node. Yep. Where's the Node? Ah, here it is. Yeah. So as I was mentioning before, this is really cool. You can use any Node library, and this will work on your API routes. So we are installing OpenAI. Yeah, so I need to install OpenAI, by the way. Wait, but I'm using the SDK OpenAI. I think this is coming from Vercel. Get started. Let me see if I have that in here. OpenAI. Yeah, we don't need that one then. Because Vercel has a wrapper. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not letting me search for this. Yep. Yep. So Vercel has a basically wrapper for OpenAI, and we can simply install this instead of using the OpenAI one. You can also use the OpenAI one if you want, but this is going to provide, I think, this is going to be like super easy to implement, I think. All right, so let's install these dependencies. Let's go to the package.json. By the way, I should commit these changes, right? Yeah, so now we have AI and OpenAI. Cool. Yeah, so let me commit all these changes. Git commit, add mesh gradient, and depths. Cool. All right, so now that we have these dependencies, we can actually go to the API route. And let me see what I have in here. Yeah, so basically, this should be pretty straightforward. We need to have a post request. So let's create a new API. I'll call this one chat .api plus api.ts. And we need to export a post request. Okay. And from here, we can import OpenAI from the AI SDK, as well as from the AI, some cool stuff like stream text, as well as convert core messages. Hit save. All right. And so in here, I'll copy some code that I have in here and I'll explain it to you. Okay. 1 sec. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can simply say, so we can prepare like a, oops. Yeah, we can prepare like a message in here. Like a system message. And this is just a string that you can use to customize your, like the behavior of your AI bot. And then we can say stream text. And stream text, it's going to take actually an object. So yeah, oops. So in here I can specify the model like GPT-4 mini, and then passing the system message as well as the messages, right? So in the messages, we are still passing the system message plus the messages that we are going to get from the request. And then we can stream this response to the user. Yeah, cool. So in the message, we should include the latest message of the user, right? All right, and then, yeah, we can return the response, but I can say to text stream response. All right, and this is basically the API that we need. Now we can hit this API that supports streaming. But one thing that I forgot is that we need to have an API key, and we need to initialize OpenAI using this API key. So I need to set this environment variable. Yeah, let me actually go to the docs so that everyone is on the same page. Yeah. So we have a simple example in here. I need to know the environment variables. Yeah, API key. Let's see. Let's get started. I'm new to AI. Try the SDK. Oh, we have a guide for Expo. Okay. I think this is new. Okay, so they are adding. Okay. Install SDK React and interesting. Should we add these packages as well? Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Configure API key. Okay, so I need to create an env local file and add my API key. So we need that. Let's see. I don't have a file, so I'll create one. .env .local and add my API key. Yeah, so I need to copy this from OpenAI from my dashboard. Let me see if I have it in my notes. Let's see, OpenAI. Yeah, I think I have my key in here. Let me just copy my key and then I'll show you. Okay, so I added my key. It's in there. Hopefully it should work. Now, I want to really follow the guide from Vercel. What do you guys think? Hello, Umar. Um, Hello, Savitri. Also, I saw a tweet from Evan Bacon that we will be able to create custom native stack transitions starting from Expo SDK 52. Custom native stack transitions. I haven't checked that one. Complete the review. What are you making? Oh yeah, for those who are joining a bit late, we are just trying new stuff from the Expo SDK 52. We have the changelog in here, and we were trying like Expo Mesh Gradient, which is one of my favorite new modules added to the Expo SDK. And now we're trying Expo Fetch to stream data. Yeah, so I added my API key in my .env.local, and now I'm getting ready to hit this API, but I want to follow this guide from AI SDK Vercel. So yeah, let's see what they are doing in here. I'm not sure why they are installing React components in here. So they are creating these routes. And by the way, this is basically what I had to data stream response. Is this the same thing that I have? Yep, almost. Okay, let's follow their guide. Let's see what's going on here. I'll install these dependencies as well. So I already have those. So I can just install React and SOD. Let's see. Okay, that was quick. Cool. Now we have this local, we have the API key, create a route to handle chat. So I already did that. Let's take a look at what is happening in this code. Yeah, we're defining an async post request, and then we are returning a stream text result. This is going to contain an object to data stream response, and finally return the result of the client to the client. So we need to hit this API. All right, so now we can use chat from React. Oh, okay, so that's why they are installing this. Okay. Then we are using Expo Fetch. Finally, I wonder if I can copy this UI. We have a text input. Yeah, I'll try to copy this UI. Let's go. Let's go to the index screen and replace everything for this UI. Generate API URL. So what is this helper function? Yeah, so generate API URL. Because you are using Expo Fetch for streaming responses instead of a native fetch function, you need an API URL generator to ensure you are using the correct base URL and a format depending on the client, environment, web, or mobile. Create a new file called utilities. Okay. Yeah, so this is not needed, and I think they don't know because we added this configuration, right? In the configs, we are setting the origin, which is going to work for iOS. So I don't need to call this function. Let's hit save. And let me start the server. Expo start clean. And switch to development and restart the application and see how this is going to break. Oh God, this is working. Hello. And if I hit my API, yeah, nothing is happening. Not sure what's happening. Let's go back to the, I mean, at least the UI is working, right? So that's good. Let's go back to the guide. Okay, this is functional that handles that stuff. Yeah, it's creating the then we need to run the application. Head over to the website, enhance your chatbot with tools. Stream tool. Yep. Stream text. Let me see if this works on web. I think I have it open here. Yep. Let's go to the index. Oh yeah, I'm using mesh gradient. This is not going to work in here. I guess I have to comment this again. Okay. Let me toggle. Oh geez, this is working. Hello. On a live stream. Oh wow, it's working. So why is not working on my app? Do I really need to have that helper function? Is that it? Let me close this. Okay, so I'll try to add this helper function, but I don't think it's needed. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's create this utility. Utils.ts and paste this in here. And then we can go to the index and undo these things. Okay, so let's reload. Cannot read properties replace undefined. Yeah, this is not my scheme. Or it's my app. I'm not sure if this is the issue. Nope. What is this doing? I should read the documentation. Okay, in the root. Yeah, I don't have this variable. Maybe that's why it's breaking. Expo public base URL. Okay. So I need to add this to my environment file. So I have, I can create a new environment file and paste this in here. Now, what is the value that they are setting for this? Before deploying your production, you must set the Expo environment variable. In production environment, this variable should point to the base URL. Yeah, I guess I can point these to localhost, right? Not sure this is going to work. Let's restart the server and change this. Let's see. Huh. Is it loading or not? Let me clear, say MPX Expo, start, clear. Yep, it's, yeah, loading these too. Public API base URL. Not sure why this is breaking, honestly. Origin constants replace URL. Yeah, experience URL. What is this experience URL? Do I need to set this in my app.json? In the extras? No, I don't have an extra. What was my... Not sure if this is going to work. Let's see. Huh. What's happening? Any help in the chats? No? Please upload the live because I want to view everything again. Yeah, it will be available after I finish the live stream. Yeah, thank you. Right, so it's not working. Let me see what's happening in here. Before deploying to production, you must say blah, 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 blah. Okay, because you're using Expo Fetch for streaming responses instead of the native fetch function, you'll need an API URL generator to ensure that you are using the correct base URL and format depending on the client environment. Okay, and project and add the following code. But they are not... Okay, handles your generation for both development and production environments, ensuring API calls, blah, blah, blah. Enhance your bots, update the UI, enabling multi-step calls, update your API routes. I think this should work without... Okay, one thing that I can do is just delete this utility function. Maybe just leave it in there for now. Okay. I'm not sure what is the experience URL. I think I can search that in the documentation. Nope. Yeah, experience URL, it's a string and it does not have any description. What is this? Well, interesting. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Close this. So yeah, this is working fine. Oh no, it's not working fine. Let's remove this. Reload. Let me see if I can open the debugger. I think I had it open already. Let's open this in here. Yeah, I don't see anything. Nothing is happening, right? Hmm. So why this is working on a web? Let's try to hard code here the entire URL. I used code with Beto. No, this won't work. It has to be localhost 8080, I think. 8081. So it did something. Let's add a console log in here. Oh, wait, what? It worked? There we go. There you go. You're welcome, guys. So, yeah, it looks like somehow the API is not resolving. Yeah, so Expo fetch is, yeah, the thing is that in this case, we're using the use chat hook and we are calling this fetch function in a weird way because we're passing Expo fetch, and Expo fetch would know how to handle this API chat, I would say. But because we're doing it in this way, we need to specify the endpoint completely, I guess. Let's see if this will work on web with that URL. It is already open, by the way, so I'll close this. Testing from live stream. Wow, on web it's very fast. So it's working. Now, the only thing or the only caveat that I can see here is that when we, deploy this website and this application, we need to change this. So yeah, that's the only thing. Other than that, I think we're good. Yeah, what do you think, guys? This is Expo Fetch, by the way. And this implementation is actually really nice. Last time I implemented this, it was very tough. Let's ask for some other stuff. Write some code. Of course, JavaScript. Yeah, there we have it. Putting wrong link. That's why. Is it reason? Yep, it looks like the yeah, somehow this is not resolving the correct URL for native. And that's why they created the helper function, but it's not working for me, or I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like a quick fix for now is just to use the link directly. Cool. Let's see what else we can do in here. So modify your API file to include a new weather tool. Weather tool? What is that? To get the weather. So right now, I guess because ChatGPT can access the web, we can have things like, like asking for the weather, or you can ask real-time questions like what time it is. I'm not sure if it will be able to respond that right now. What time is it in Mexico? What the hell? Yeah. Uh, Oops. What's the weather in Arkansas? I can provide real-time weather updates. Yeah, he's not doing it. So I guess we can, yeah, update this, but I am not interested in that. Let's update the UI. Yeah, so they added this after the scroll view. Yeah, it seems that they added some styles. I'll just go ahead and paste everything and then replace my link again in here and remove this. So I have an error in here. Yeah, this should be percentage. That's an error. And hit save. So yeah, I don't see any changes. Did the UI change? I didn't realize. I think we can do a better job on styling. Multi-step calls, update your client-side code. Yeah, we can pass parameters. Yep, that's all. Let's have some fun styling this UI. What do you guys think? Yeah, let's have some fun doing that. So first of all, this, input, it's terrible. And if I open the keyboard, it's not going to work. So for that, I always recommend using keyboard controller. Let me toggle dark mode. Keyboard controller for React Native. Yeah, let's get started. We need to install it, by the way. Install it. Let's say bond, or I could say APX Expo install. I'm gonna need to pre-build the app, so Expo pre-build iOS, and then rerun the app. So I'll say Expo run iOS. And let's see the example. If we go to the API reference, we have something called keyboard. Yeah, so by the way, we need to add the provider. So let's do that in the layout. But the main layout's this one. Yeah, so I'll wrap everything with the keyboard provider. And let's import this from React Native controller, keyboard controller. Yeah, that's the only configuration we need to do. After that, we can use the, there is a scroll view component. Yeah, this one. Keyboard aware scroll view. Let's see if there's an example. Yeah, we can import this. So let's go to the code. And instead of using in the index the scroll view from React Native, I'll use this one. And then let's replace this and hit save. Let's see how the build is doing. Okay, and I can reload the app. I'm gonna need to close this. Yeah, somehow I have been having issues with the cache. So even if I close the app and reopen the app again, we still have the same screen. So I have to close it like twice. But it looks like now it's working. Yeah, so let's see what's going on in here. Do I need to include this in here? No, it's at the top. Let's see the example. Okay, so keyword scroll view. Yeah, we should do something like this, right? With a flat list. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I would say let's use a flash list. And then we can say render scroll component. Let me generate some data. And say good. All right. Yeah, so first of all, we are using this safe area view, which is nice. Then we have this view that I don't really understand. So let's get rid of it. Okay, so it was providing some padding. Then we are iterating over the messages. And I think these messages are typed. Tool invocations. What is this? Content. Yeah, they are typed. So I can abstract that to be an item. Message component. All right. So the message component is going to have this look. Yep. Save, and then I can get rid of this. Still need the text input. Flat list from React Native. Render scroll component. It's going to be keyword over scroll view, data messages, and render item passing the messages. And I think we don't need this. It's safe. All right. I think it looks better. Now I don't see, I cannot see the input. Oh, there it is. I can change this to be red so that we can see. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Let's see, let's go back to the example. Yeah, passing the props. Am I doing that? Cool. What happens if I... Let's add a margin bottom here. Yeah, there's the inputs. But it's not working. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Style, background red, padding. Am I missing some configuration? Here's an example. Yeah, I don't see any input in here. Oh, here it is. My bad. So it has an input for each item. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure how to implement this. I think I can just wrap this in a keyboard aware scroll view. Yeah, I'm gonna get that warning. And then I can add a flex to this, right? And content, container, style, flex of one, style flex of one. Why is not growing? Hide 100%. Yeah, I think I can just say flex of one in here. Oh, there we go. Now, what's happening? Does this has to be outside of the safe area? Nope. Let's add a margin. Margin bottom. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so it's working. Now the issue is that I need a margin bottom of the size of the bottom tab. I think there is a hook from React Navigation that allows you to get that value. Const use bottom tab bar height. Oh, nice. So then I can apply that in here. And then open. Yeah, this is looking weird. Minus 30, I guess. Oops. My bad. Why this is doing that, I don't understand. Okay, let's go here and say padding of 16. Okay, let's add some data. Everything works. So I think I need to specify some options in here. Let's go back to the docs. Yeah, I guess I could just use this keyword avoiding view. Yeah, let's give it a try. Keyword avoiding view. And close. All right. Style flex. There we go. What is happening? What in the world? Height, padding, position. Nope. I'm not sure what I'm doing, guys. Let's go back with the keyword aware scroll view. Yeah, this is kind of working. I feel like I need to specify some stuff in here. Let's see this one. Yeah, so this is the example. He has like an input for each item. So it has a bottom offset. Defaults to 0. Let's see. Hmm. I actually did this long time ago, and I already forgot. Anyways, let's change this. I think we can have a nice gap in here of 16. Is not. It has to be here, I think. Yep. Let's do 8. Awesome. That looks good. And you know what? On each item, we can have things like a box shadow. which is actually new in SDK. Sorry, in React Native 75, I think. So I'll upgrade this to be 5. There we go. So this means that I need to get rid of this padding and add a margin in here and change this to be 1 or 2. I think 1 looks really cool. Yeah, so we are not adding support for dark mode right now. Let's see. Nice. I did something. Toggle. Awesome. Nice. So let's see. We have the main container, then we have the flat list, which it's taking. Let's add a border. Yeah, it's taking the entire space. Okay, so I think I need to add a flex of 1 for this. Yeah, and this is going to push. Yeah, so instead of having this flex in here, I'd add a kind of a container for this text input. And add a flex of, yeah, I don't need a flex actually, I need a height of what, 100? 50? Let's add a border as well. Yeah, there we have it. So let's remove this margin bottom. Padding, that's fine. Background color white, that's fine. So the issue is that now this is pushing down. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it's this flex, I think. That's a flat list. Wait, what's happening? Border width and red. I'm not sure why this is pushing off the view. Walid, Toady, hello. Any plans for crazy project build in the future? Hello, brother. Good luck. Hello, everyone. Crazy projects? No. Actually, I have an app idea that I've been trying to build, and I haven't had a chance. I have a lot of things to do, but hopefully in my free time, I'll go back to that. Basically, it's an app that allows you to post to many platforms like Blue Sky, X, YouTube, Threads. With so many social networks, I think it's a needed application. And yeah, I'll check what's happening on that. It's actually this app that I have here. It's called Universe. But yeah, it's super early stage, and I haven't had the chance to work on that. But that's like my crazy project right now. Other than that, nothing crazy. Okay, let's see if we can fix this before we finish this live stream. It's been 2 hours. And actually, we have so many things to cover, so so we should go back and see if I missed anything. So Expo Fetch, as you can see, Expo Fetch is really cool. This is what we're using right now, Expo Fetch, and we also had the chance to use Mesh Gradient. So what I want to do now, it's really fix this issue. Maybe ChatGPT can do it, right? Let's see. Fix text input appearing behind the bottom tab. I mean, it's not ChatGPT, it's Claude. Oh, it added a bottom offset to the keyboard over scroll view. Yes, accept everything. It didn't really fix it. What is this? Okay, I guess we will leave this as it is. And if you guys want to fix it, please do it. Yeah, let's pause this repo. So m.local, then I also have this environment, which is setting this. By the way, I'm not using this anymore. So let's go ahead and remove it. Let me put this on GitHub. Git commit, work in progress, chat UI using Expo Fetch. And let's create a repo. So I'll say GitHub repo create, and it's going to be public. And the app is going to be live stream SDK 52 app. There we go. So I need to add this origin, right? Git. Can I say just git push or no? No. Git remote, add origin, git push, upstream, main. Is this? Oh, geez. I don't know how to use git. Here we go. So yeah, this is now available on my GitHub. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Cool. Yeah, I didn't update it. I didn't upload anything sensitive, right? I think. I'll put it in the chat, guys. So if you want to play around with this application, you're more than welcome to do it. And also, if you want to create a pull request to fix my UI, please do. I don't know what's happening with me today that I cannot fix it. Anyways, let's see what else did I miss. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys the new React Navigation version 7 that is being used with Expo Router, which makes very easy to create bottom sheets, and that's another cool thing. So let's go back and I quickly show you Expo start. Yeah. So one thing that it's really cool is that, oh yeah, I have this warning. Let's generate some data. Cool. So let me remove this border red. Okay, that's my UI so far. One thing that I want to show you guys is how you can open a bottom sheet. Let's call this one shit.tsx. Can I move this up? No. Export default sheet. And then we can have like a view. And then, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, we don't really need a background. And a theme text. Sheet. And with a type of title. All right, and let's add this to the layout. Yep, apart from the tabs, we're going to have these sheets, and we don't need to specify the component. Now, on the options, we can say presentation form sheets. And then you can start playing around with these values like detents, allow detents. This is going to be an array, and we can specify, I don't know, 0.1 and then 0.5 maximum. Hit save. Now let's try to navigate to this screen. So my idea would be, on a long press on each item. We can change this to be a pressable from React Native. And then on long press, we can push to the sheet screen. Let's use router from Expo router. Okay, and let's create some stuff in here. Hello, add some stuff. And then I'm going to long press this. And it's telling me that this page does not exist. But in fact, it exists. And it's in here. Name sheet. So I think I need to maybe restart npx expo start clean. Let's see if that works. Let's add some stuff and long press. And there we have it. That's a sheet. And I can play around with the detents, which is really nice and looks pretty cool. And you can do more complicated things. So if I, we can use like, what's the name of this hook? Use global search params. And then we can pass a message. And now if I go to the index, we can pass a message like this. And now let's try this again. And I can see the message. Of course, this is using a title, but I think we have another type like subtitle. And yeah, so from here you can do many things. But the cool thing about this is that you can really customize this. Like for example, you can put it to start at 5 and then you can drag it up to 8. And then when I open, it's going to start at 50% of the screen, and then I can let the user play between the detents and it's going to work fine. All right, now before we go, I want to see if this is going to work on Android. So let's say Expo pre-built Android. And finally, we can say yes in here. And Expo run Android. Let's see if this works. Okay, and here I have my Android device. Guys, if this works, I can end the stream now. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I think it's going to fail because Android makes it very hard to make requests to the local host. But we'll see. if it doesn't work, we can always retry. I mean, we can always navigate with a button. So while this is building, let's see what else I'm missing. So React Navigation 7, it's huge. We also have DevTools. I think this was introduced in SDK 47. React Native 76, which comes with many cool stuff like box shadow, and we're using box shadow. Oh, and the splash screen. Oops, it's not working. I'm not sure why. So Livestream app. Yeah, something is wrong with my app for Android. Yep, anyways. It's not detecting the server. Actually, I want to Google this. Android unable to load script React Native. Uh-huh. What is this? I should say Expo. Uh, uh, uh. Load with HTTP. I'm not sure I understand. Oops. Yep, I think I'll take a look later. Anyways. Hey, Beto, can we just completely eliminate splash screen in Expo? Uh, what do you mean? Are you using like the latest splash screen? Actually, I think that's next. Yeah, splash screen. So previously you had in the app JSON, you had a splash screen field in here. This one. Yeah, this one you can delete it now because this is not needed anymore since we are using the splash screen through the config plugin, which is the latest version. Yeah, using SDK 52. You can just have this configuration and configure everything in the layout. So we have splash screen in here, and you can call these methods to prevent auto hide or hide async, and this should do it. That's all you need to do. Okay, let me say add status, git commit, add sheet, git push. All right, and I think that's it, guys, for this live stream. Actually, I think we covered many cool stuff like mesh gradient, like using fetch, how to have API routes, and yeah, I guess you know, I'm a, I'm a bit sick, and I think I'm not at my 100%. That's why I couldn't fix that UI for the chat. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. And if you have any questions before we end the stream, please let me know. Abraham or Abe Hiram. I don't know how to pronounce that, man. But yeah, you can give it a try. Just delete the splash from the app.json and you should be good. Just make sure that you're adding the plugin. And once you change that, you need to rebuild, prebuild, and install the app again to make sure that it's working. I actually had a pretty weird bug regarding that. Somehow the cache of my simulator was storing the previous splash screen, and the way I fixed it was basically installing the application in a different simulator. The cache was pretty bad. Even if I deleted the application, it didn't work, so I had to use a different simulator. Just FYI, in case you run into the same issue. Cool. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming.